I'm watching Mac Jones, young kid, right? Early 20s, barking last couple of weeks, yelling. And I think to myself, yeah, I can't blame him. If this company gave me a salesperson who's a great salesperson and said, produce Colin's show, I'd be pissed too. They've given him a defensive coordinator to call his plays. At one point during the game, half of the throws were behind the line of scrimmage. His protection's okay, but he doesn't have anything resembling an elite wide receiver. Hunter Henry, cast off by another team, is his go-to guy. I don't think Mac Jones is a top 10 talent. Maybe I'm wrong, but he's a lot better than what he's allowed to be. Listen, New England does defense. Here's an amazing stat. They don't have a ton of great defensive players. Judon's having a great year. But they lead the NFL. They've scored 92 points off turnovers. This is what they do. Like Philadelphia and Dallas are scoring points on turnovers. They have elite defensive players. New England has a great culture, a great defense, a brilliant head coach. Their offensive coordinator's a defensive guy. That's what they do. But I think we're forgetting Mac Jones started 1 year of college. He comes into the NFL. They don't have any weapons. Do you remember how good his numbers were last year? I think you'd be surprised. Go back. 67% completion percentage, 3,800 yards. All these numbers blow Trevor Lawrence out of the water. Blow him out of the water. Blow Justin Fields out of the water. Trey Lance isn't playing. Those were his rookie numbers. I have sympathy for Mac Jones. I was very lucky. When you're starting out in your career, and he's obviously a very driven kid, right? You get one chance to be the guy in this league. Drew Brees is an outlier. You get one shot. I was lucky. I had great bosses and great support. I was very lucky. But I would be bitter at 24 years old if my companies were pulling me backwards. Colt McCoy had DeAndre Hopkins, Robbie Anderson, Hollywood Brown. Mac Jones had Hunter Henry on the road, a defensive coordinator calling the plays, and was just as productive. And Colt McCoy, don't kid yourself, is a top 10 backup in this league. You watch Mitch Trubisky. He's awful. Colt McCoy, for backup quarterback standards, not bad. Mac Jones's regression is not a reflection on Mac Jones. It is a reality check on where the Patriots are as a franchise. All their talent, all their brain power is on the defensive side of the ball. Again, half their throws at one point during the game were behind the line of scrimmage. Arizona's defensive coordinator this week, and it wasn't a jab, said they coach offense like a defensive guy's calling it. They're really safe. Yes, I'd be barking too. It's his career. You get one chance. Go back to those rookie numbers with nothing to work with. They're shockingly good. He was yelling. He was barking. He couldn't make eye contact. He was very upset. But he goes to the podium. That's what a franchise quarterback does. He falls on the sword. Hey, we get along great. Folks, go back. You know, some people aren't into their careers. That's fine. That's great. But if you're really into your career and you're listening to me now, you could be in music, you could be in art, you could be in sales, you could be anything. And you're 24 years old in a very competitive field where you get one or two chances ever to be the person. And you had a boss after a sparkling first year give you somebody out of a different department to run your stuff, and you get the heat for it. I get it. I'd be bitter. I've been lucky. I've had great support, but I would be bitter. I would not be happy. This kid was a lot better than we give him credit for. You look at all these quarterbacks in this league first couple of years, they struggle. He didn't. And he had nobody to throw to, and he didn't struggle. He was pretty good. The numbers this morning, I looked him up. I told the guys, I said, let's go look at his numbers. I think they were pretty good. They're like, wow, they were good. Blew Trevor Lawrence out of the water. So I have flipped. I think he's a franchise quarterback. Again, I don't see him as a top 10 guy because ceilings, there's some limitations. But, man, they're not doing him any favors. All right, let's talk Arizona for a second. So this morning, listen, everybody wants to just blow it up. I get it, right? In the NFL, that's always the answer. But, fire Kliff Kingsbury. But I went back since February 28th. These things have all happened. Kyler Murray's agent released a statement that he won't play without a new contract. DeAndre Hopkins suspended 6 games of the year. Kyler Murray gets a massive deal. There's a homework clause removed from his contract. Obviously, the owner wanted that out. It got released to the press. Marquise Brown fractures his foot, 6th game of the year, misses over a month. Kyler Murray gets hurt, misses 2 games. Zach Ertz out for the season, great tight end. And then Kyler Murray gets carted off. Who could win with that? I mean, I don't think Kliff Kingsbury is Sean Payton or Andy Reid either. But Kyler Murray's trajectory, and I was a huge supporter. I've said I think he throws it's the baseball thing. His slide, he throws the prettiest ball in the league. But things have changed. New information. His trajectory has gone from dynamic, ascending, and electric to he gets hurt a lot. He doesn't love watching film. He's small and doesn't like to get hit. He's sort of aloof, and he's not getting better. You can blame Kliff Kingsbury, but Kliff recruited him out of high school. Kliff went to the franchise and said, draft him, move off Josh Rosen. He has been his biggest supporter. So you can knock Kliff Kingsbury to the street. You're not getting Sean Payton for this job. You're not getting Jim Harbaugh for this job. You're not getting Lincoln Riley for this job. Not interested. This now with Kyler Murray's current trajectory is not a great gig. And Kliff Kingsbury, listen, he had a losing record in college. But, Lovie Smith had a losing record in Illinois. He got a job. Sometimes that happens. But it is easy in this league. The answer is always blow it up. But this organization gave Kyler Murray $230 million, and that contract hasn't started yet. And he increasingly does not want to get hit. And he is small. I said this on the air 3 years ago. I had a player, a Pro Bowler in the NFC, tell me off the air. He doesn't like to get hit. He said this person had sacked Russell Wilson multiple times. He said Russ doesn't mind it. Kyler didn't like it at all. And in this division now, if you think you're going to blow Kliff out and get a great coach, yeah, Matt Rule was a great college coach. How did that work? Carolina's gotten better since he left. I got nothing against Matt Rule. They're better today than they were a month or 6 weeks ago, whenever he got knocked out. So this division now has Seattle, loads of young talent and draft picks. It's got McVay and the Rams. They're not going to be bad long. Okay, I'm going to go with Sean McVay. Stafford's back. They'll get it right. San Francisco, best roster in the league. You think that's a great job now? It felt like a great job 2 years ago, but things change. I mean, I love Lamar Jackson. He's had a bad year. He's banged up. Now, do I franchise tag him? Do I give him 5 years? Stuff changes. Ezekiel Elliott got that contract for the Cowboys years ago. We're like, yeah. Like 2 years later, we're like, I don't know. He doesn't have the burst. This is not a great job now. And there's candidates out there. There's 2 potential great candidates out there. Peyton's obviously a home run. If you think Sean Payton's going to choose between Kyler Murray and Justin Herbert, I can tell you right now who he'd choose. I can tell you right now who every GM in the NFL would choose. Every coach who has an opening would choose. So, I think the easy answer this morning, blow it up, fire this guy, fire that guy. You go look at the teams that keep firing coaches. Well, not a lot of home runs out there. The college ranks, I mean, Jim Harbaugh, Stanford to the NFL, like that was rare, right? Like, oh, home run. But I can give you 5 who bomb. And in the NFL, Sean Payton's he's an A-plus candidate. Man, not taking that job. So you're going to have to give it to a first-timer. What if that person doesn't get along with Kyler Murray? What if that person didn't recruit him in high school, doesn't know him, hasn't befriended him? I mean, Kliff Kingsbury is not like a hard guy to get along with. You can make 3 or 4 phone calls in our business. People like Kliff Kingsbury. He's an easy guy to get along with. And Kyler and he, I'm not saying they don't get along, but I've seen stuff on television, just on TV as a consumer. It's bumpy. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.